Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Noah, and I wanted to welcome all of you to another installment of Monologue Monday here on my YouTube channel. In this episode of Monologue Monday, I wanted to share my personal opinions as to why I believe it's so difficult for normal individuals to start saving and investing efficiently. As always, I hope you can take something away from this video, and with that being said, let's get into this episode of Monologue Monday. So, as I said, this episode of Monologue Monday is really going to be about the difficulties that people experience when trying to either get into efficiently or effectively saving or investing, or continuing to do it on an annual basis throughout their working career. And before I begin, I really just want to share the concept of saving investing and how it's kind of counterintuitive, right? Because the concept, down to the fundamentals of saving and investing are relatively similar, right? In order to start saving, at the end of the month, we have, an extra $500 that we transfer over into our savings account, right? That's where the name comes from. That's not touched, right? And every month we do that until we have a certain amount of money, and then we have a down payment, or we have tuition, or we have a trip, or whatever it may be. And the same thing really goes for investing as well. At the end of each month, or at the end of each week, each time you're paid, or every day sometimes, you will transfer a certain amount of money into a investment account, your 401k, whatever it may be, and you let it grow. Basically, you let the money compound until it's ultimately time to start withdrawing in retirement. So the concept of the saving and investing, right, is very simple. So what is it that makes it so difficult for so many people across the United States and across the entire world, for that matter, to take part in it, right? To effectively do it, to really set themselves up, to not only get the large items that they want, right, the big ticket items, but to also set themselves up for a successful retirement as well. So the first reason that comes to my mind when I think about difficulties in getting people to start saving and investing and continue it through the majority of their working career, if not their whole career, is obviously the lack of money. And this is a pretty deep discussion if we're just talking about money, because we can't necessarily just give out more money within a economy that's not going to result in anything good if we just start giving it out left and right. But I certainly believe there's an extent to this where the income that the majority of individuals across the United States, and we are going to be talking about, when I reference people and so on, I'm going to directly reference people here in the United States because that's where I am right now. But I definitely think there is a little bit of a gap there, right, where the average income of individuals and families, couples, whatever it may be, is really not that high. I think the average combined or individual per capita income is probably maybe 50,000 or 55,000, somewhere like that in 2023. I would obviously have to check that, but I think that's right around right around where that average is. And this basically, for me, in my personal opinion, analyzing finances, my own and other, clients and friends and family, whatever it may be, and looking at how much things cost, how much it costs to live, how much it costs to eat, how much it costs, to have a car and so on. That 50,000, or we could even call it 60,000, is really not that much money. So I think there's a fair argument here to say that obviously income has a decent part to play in it. That kind of limits people from investing that $1,000 a month or $500 a month into savings. Now, the second reason why I personally believe it's difficult for individuals to get involved with these types of endeavors is that the way the economy or the way the world is structured right now is to get everybody to spend their money, right? There are ads for everything all the time. Have you, I don't know if this is just me personally, but the Shady Rays ads, the sunglasses, I see that ad, the same ad, probably 10 to 15 times a day when I'm on YouTube, when I'm watching videos, when I'm doing this, when I'm doing research, whatever it may be. That ad is always on my screen. So that's just sunglasses, right? So every other service, right? People want you to come in to pay for this. They want you to come in to, eat here, to pay for this, to pay for this, to pay for this. It just never ends, right? So I think this inundation of opportunities for individuals to spend money. You walk across the street to spend money. Sometimes you're in bed on your phone spending money, right? You're shopping online, whatever it may be. The opportunities and the motivation, the incentive to spend your money all day, pretty much every single day, are just they're just in your face, right? They're in everybody's face all day, every single day. So I think this is a huge reason as to why people don't have the extra money that they might have otherwise had if they hadn't indulged in frivolous shopping or entertainment, whatever it may be. Only you know the things that you shouldn't have bought or shouldn't have spent money on. Pardon me. But I think that's a huge player here, is that there's just too many opportunities. There's so many opportunities to spend all of your money that it gets really difficult for people to get away from that. The third reason as to why I personally believe that this whole saving and investing concept, it gets difficult for people, is really tied to my second example of having marketing basically all over the place, an incentive to spend money all over the place. But it really comes down to what we see on social media, what we see online, what we see. Basically, what it comes down to is what we see other people having. And, this could be cars, this could be clothing, this could be jewelry, this could be trips, right? This could be restaurants in your local area, so experiences, so to speak. It could be beauty stuff, right? So different types of hair and nails and, I don't know, like a boob job, whatever. I don't know. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that we're living in a time where I personally feel like everybody compares themselves to all these different people that they see online, that they see their social media friends having, and they want to emulate that. If that person has it, then I want it too. If this influencer whatever does this, I want to do it too, because I want to be like them, or whatever it may be. And I've genuinely kind of gotten this attitude from working with a bunch of different people, right? Talking about why they were spending money here, why they were spending money there, their motivations for spending money that otherwise probably didn't need to be spent. And these are a lot of the examples that I hear where they saw it somewhere, or they wanted to compete with what other people are doing, and so they bought things that they didn't need, that were completely out of their price point. A big one that I personally see are vehicles. I have very strong opinions on vehicles. I'm not going to get into that in this video here, but that's a huge thing that I see, where people want a certain type of vehicle just because they think that that's going to make them a better person, right? That's going to augment their personality. If anything, it's going to make you worse of a person, and it's probably going to drain your bank account too, because the more pricey vehicle that you get, right, the more it's going to cost to maintain the stupid thing. So generally speaking, I feel, without going on a tangent like I'm beginning to, I think the key point here is that too many people, maybe you the viewer are guilty of this yourself. I certainly am in certain aspects as well, but we compare ourselves too much to people that don't matter in our life, right? We're looking at something that some random person has, and we think that we need that too, when in reality, that's just not the case. So the quick lesson, obviously, here is to just not compare yourself to other people. Don't try to match what some random person online is doing, or someone that you vaguely know through social media. And, the other aspect, of course, is that maybe it's best to kind of veer away from social media, because I think, in my personal opinion, it's just a pool for people to try to one-up each other and, show people what they have that the other person doesn't, or show off, or whatever it may be. I personally have gotten quite a bit of enjoyment from cutting back, a huge portion of my time on my phone by cutting out, any kind of social media, because it just lets me really focus on what I need to be doing. And that's been a huge beneficial aspect of me personally getting on a very solid financial track for my future. Now, the fourth and final reason as to why I personally believe it's difficult for people to get on a good saving plan or investing plan, whatever it may be, or continue one, is because it sucks to look at, right? And this is a reality of many things in life, that we go through on a day-to-day basis, the truth often sometimes hurts, right? And I've had to be the bearer of bad news for a lot of different individuals, for couples, and so on, to really tell them that what they're currently doing with their income and their expenses just isn't working, and it's not going to lead to a successful financial future. And it's not just, I need to emphasize, of course, it's not just having a successful financial future, right? It's not about just being rich in the end. It's about ensuring that you have security, right? You have confidence, with your day to day, that if something were to go awry, you're covered, right? It's almost like it's almost like insurance as well. So I need to make that clear as well, that it's not about just saving all of your money and, becoming really wealthy and this and that, because that is hardly the case. But, back to my point, it's just not a fun thing to be told that, you're not on a good financial track. I think it's a big area where many people have a lot of insecurity. And that's something it's hard to deal with, right? Especially it's hard to deal with someone telling you, these insecurities that you might have. So one way that I feel like we as individuals can really kind of get on with it and start getting on a financial plan, right? You're not going to grow unless you're hurt, right? Unless you make a mistake, unless you fall down, right? You have to get back up. Is to just suck it up and be honest with yourself, right? Suck it up and reach out for assistance through, someone like myself, or, other advisors out there that are going to really look at your finances and have a really well-developed discussion about what needs to be done in order for, in order for changes to be made with your personal finances. So there you have it. That is my list of 4 things that I personally believe hold people back from starting to save and invest for their future. But of course, I want to hear from the viewers as well. What do you think of my list here? Do you think it's a well-developed list, or do you have some details that you want to add as well? Please let me know in the comment section below. And if you've made it this far in the video today, of course, I want to thank you so much for your viewership. I do really love doing these Monologue Mondays, as I always say. So if you are taking something away from them, I really do appreciate it. And of course, if you are in a position where you're looking to augment your personal financial standing using financial analysis and personalized budgeting, that's exactly what I do here at AFA. If you have any questions for me personally, or if you'd like to take a look at the financial services that I can provide to you, I've left my email and a link to my company website in the description box below. As always, thank you so much for your time today, and of course, happy financing.